Well, it kind of worked. I don't really know what that is. But either way, you need some tools on you when you're out in the bush and out and about. You never know when you're gonna need these things. Follow me, let's show you. All right, what's up, boys? So we are going over some of the tools that we kind of keep every day in our car. This one stays in my GX. Bryce is gonna go over his with you on what he keeps in his FJ. Basically, most of the time that we're out. You know, if we're just going to the store or something, a little different, but longer trips or going out of town, usually we're taking this with us. Right off the bat, this is a Front Runner Wolfpack Pro. This thing is honestly pretty convenient. I like just kind of the design, and honestly it holds everything really well, but opening it up is where all the magic really is. Got a couple of things in here. I do have 2 axes for some reason, but do you have 2 axes? I don't know. Maybe you do. But if you don't need 2 axes, bro. Don't even worry about it. Got a couple of extra recovery things in here. So just a strap and an extra hard shackle. Hard shackle, I do 100% need to change out to a soft shackle. Even if it's a cheap one, just having extra soft shackles is gonna be the way to go. You don't really want to use these anymore, but I have it with me in case of a pinch, you know? So PB Blaster, you honestly never know when you're gonna need some PB Blaster, and I have not seen tiny bottles of this like my little WD-40 right there, but we have had to change out some stuff in the bush before. Whether that's going to be tires or just parts in general. Sometimes they rust up and sometimes they're a pain in the ass to get out. So PB Blaster is a really good thing, so you're not there at 11, 12 o'clock at night trying to change a tie rod. Some extra small tools, not really small, but I couldn't really find another good place for them. But my K-bar. We've actually used this thing quite a bit to cut down some branches, make some fires, you know, off of dead trees. Don't be taking branches off of live trees. Now, something that I have not tried yet is this Glyco? How do you say this?
Geico.
Geico spray. Bryce and I were given this at a show at Pure 4x4 in like 2022. And we honestly don't really know what it does. We don't really know.
It's like a like Rain-X.
It's apparently like Rain-X.
But it's got ching chong on the back, so we don't really know how to use it.
Yeah, so we honestly, I can't read it. We might have to get Google Translate in here for this, but I have yet to use it. So at some point I might have to, but it's also not the rainy season anymore, so I haven't really needed to. Next thing is my tool bag right here. This is just a cheap Amazon tool bag. You honestly don't really need anything special for your tool bag. As long as it holds everything and stays strong enough to do so, then you're gonna be good. I'm gonna go through this in just a second. At the bottom right here, it's probably the thing I'm gonna use the least out of all this stuff, but just in case it happens, I have it. A tire repair kit. So got everything that you need in here. The 35-piece set. I honestly haven't had to use it yet. Luckily, I haven't needed to, but that could change at any point. So always being ready for that is a big thing. Unbranded one. I honestly don't really know what this is, but finding any kind of tire repair kit on Amazon is better than not having a repair kit at all. The last thing that I have inside here, it's gonna be just some kind of emergency stuff in here. So got kind of a bunch of extra first aid stuff too, but at the bottom right here do have jumper cables, a emergency compressor, and a extra roll of gauze that I don't know why is in this little pack, but it is. And it's from Ace. Wow. Check us out, Ace. But yeah, got a couple of different things in here. Not really anything special in here, just some emergency foot warmers, wet ones, poison ivy things, poison ivy wipes, and then some extra emergency blankets, things like that. But the main thing that we're going over right now is going to be this side right here. Having some jumper cables on you is honestly really good, because if your battery takes a shit on you and you are out in let's just say a parking lot. AAA is not going to get to you for an hour, hour and a half. Having some jumper cables and just asking a nice pedestrian, hey, can I jump, use you to jump my car real quick? Then most of the time, they're going to say yeah. But having the jumper cables on them on you is a big thing. I've actually been there before with a very old car of mine. Battery wouldn't start up, and asking a person to jump you with no jumper cables when you don't have a jumper cables, pretty fucking embarrassing. So going back into this tool roll right here. So this is gonna be the main thing here. Still have some work to do. Still can get some tools to kind of just go over it, but this is definitely helping me out a lot in the time that I've needed it. I don't have anything in this little pouch right here, but in this one right here, I have a socket for my key set, for my tires and wheels, and then this is the actual wheel key. Inside the very first one right here, socket sets, bunch of sockets, different sizes on them. Everything that I have is metric just because I have a GX470, so that one is not going to have any kind of Imperial ones in there, or SAE if you will. In here, bunch of Phillips heads, flatheads, crimps, things like that, wrenches. You never know when you're going to need any of this stuff. And then this one is also mainly for the front rack that's on the top. They do take the number 5, so I have one of those in there. So a bunch of different tools in here, especially some needle nose. Needle nose are going to be really helpful if you got to change out a clamp, if you got to take out a fuse. You never know where you're going to need these, and honestly they've come in handy a lot more than you would think. At the bottom, just some razors, in case you need to cut something like a hose or whatever it may be on your car, then you can always get that cut out. Next little package in here. So it's going to be some of these hoses right here. I do at one point want to change out all the clamp hoses for these you know what I'm talking about. Like, you got to get the needle nose on the hose and you got to pinch it, and then you can pull it off.
The spring ones.
Spring ones. I hate those ones. These ones are so much better just because they you just need a Phillips head to actually tighten and loosen it. You don't have to sit there trying to hold the thing while with your other hand trying to pull off a hose. It's a pain in the ass. In here I also have some black silicone, just instant gasket kind of thing. So in a pinch, if I need to seal something up, if I have a leak somewhere in the main engine compartments, then I can at least get myself out of there. Inside that also goes the small bottle of WD-40. Always helpful to have. Just like duct tape, usually just good to have on you. And then the very last one is just going to be a couple of little spares in here. So a couple of nuts and bolts for the wheel setups, wheel assemblies, that kind of thing. Extra tie rod outer end. That one stays in there. Couple of different CV nuts, things like that in case I got to change out a CV. These are also really good to have. Bryce actually told me to get some of these, and these are the tire.
What is that? Valve stems.
Valve stems. Thank you, Christ. I can't remember anything today, dude. But yeah, a couple of different calcium nuts in here, and then a extra gas tank seal clicker
Cap.
Thank you. Jesus, dude. Extra gas tank cap, because if you own a GX or an FJ or a 4th gen 4Runner or a Sequoia or anything that kind of runs in the same family as these years right here, the gas tank cap always goes out. So I buy myself 2 every single year, and I end up changing them out at least once a year. So I'm good for next year on this one. But besides that, I could use a couple of extra tools in here. I do definitely need to get some bigger spares, like an extra CV, have a belt in here somewhere, but that's kind of all part of it, is learning as you go, and I definitely need to get that before something like the next trip comes up, just because in case I do need to do something, change out a belt, change out a CV, whatever it may be, then I at least have all the stuff that I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away now. this is a quick disclaimer before we do as well. These are just the things that work for us. Once again, this is just all of our tools. Again, we can always make them better. We will always take suggestions. A lot of you guys do have some really good ideas. So if we are missing something that's pretty crucial, let us know in the comments. Anyways, yeah, let's go to Bryce.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go into my tool setup. There's gonna be some stuff missing in here that Chris covered in his box, just because I have 2 boxes that are separate that live in the FJ. This one specifically is gonna be just tools. And in the other box is gonna be more so my recovery stuff, so like my jumper pack and stuff, and my wheel locks will be in the other bin. But jumping into this is the OG Wolf packs. And yeah, I know this is kind of bougie and a lot of people don't have an impact in their car, but I've had to change a tire on trail and this made it a hell of a lot easier. So if you have the space for it, if you have the budget for it, definitely throw an impact in there. This Makita one also takes the same battery as my Makita chainsaw, so I have 2 batteries for these ones, so cool that it's interchangeable there. I've got a little mini sledge here. It's a little husky sledge, 4-pound one. This one's good for just bending stuff in that comes loose on trail, or if you're gonna replace like a CV or something, you can use this guy and use your pry bar here to pop those out. But pry bar is also really handy to have on the trail. Mechanix gloves. Can never have enough Mechanix gloves or gloves in general. These things have saved me a lot of dirty hands, a lot of pain in my hands. These ones have been through it. They've been set on fire. I also do have a ton of the front runner Strachits. So these guys are basically like a universal bungee tie-down type of system. It's like a backpack strap. You can have all that stuff tightened up here, keep it nice and neat. But these can do anything from keeping your groceries in the back of your car from slipping around or mounting something up on your rack. So I do always have a bunch of these. You can see I'm kind of a hoarder of these guys because no one needs 4 pairs of Strachits, but 5 pairs with the shorties. Then in here is just a bunch of tie-down rings. So these are specific to the front runner roof racks. I've got a bunch of these because I'm always tying stuff up on top, throwing anything from like a paddle board or a wolf pack box up there. And then I also did throw some, you can call them Ranger bands. They're not really Ranger bands. These are from a bike inner tube, and I just cut it to size. And if you're not running Ranger bands or any kind of rubber bands, definitely add that to your truck or whatever, your toolbox, because those things can be used for anything. Ratcheting breaker bar in here, and you know, if you have a tire or something that's stuck on there, this will definitely help out. If you don't have an impact, this is obviously the more budget, easy way to go. A little shop rag here, always good to have that, because if you are changing stuff on your car, it's going to be greasy or oily, so always good to have those. Down here, do have a roll of duct tape, because you can use that for anything, as all of you know. And then in here is basically just your socket set, so ratchet and sockets. This is the Quinn one from Hobo Freight. Most of my tool set is actually going to consist of Harbor Freight stuff, because you know, this lives in your car. This isn't your garage setup. Tools are expensive, but definitely be prepared for the worst. But yeah, you don't need anything special. The likelihood of you using it is not, you know, gonna be too often, but I do find myself actually opening this box a lot just to grab something as small as like a razor blade or some sockets. Right here you can see I have a little wrench set. This is actually the thin ones. So I had to get this one because the suspension setup on my rig is a little tight. You know, it's a one-off type of build, but these thin wrenches help with getting into the tight spaces. So this is going to be a standard size, but it fits with like the King shocks. So this is nice to have. It saves you a lot of ache and pain when you're tightening those stuff up. So if you do have some suspension components like that, definitely look into those guys, because that'll save you some swearing, because I have definitely sworn a lot when I was doing my suspension in like 100-degree heat in my driveway by myself. But you did help me for the front and left, so thank you. Aside from that, just got these, what do you call these? Just bungees, rubber bungees with the little S-hooks on the back. So you can use these for, you know, holding up your like your spindles, your rotors while you're changing some stuff out, or you could just use it as a tie down. Universal stuff there. Also do keep a little work light in here, so this is rechargeable because you're working on your car at night, you want to have some light. Also good to always have some headlamps in your car as well. This is going to be a little quick deflate system. I don't use this anymore because I do have like a 4-tire air up, air down system, but I do keep those little deflate things in here. So those are the ones that you just tie on or screw onto your valve stem, and it'll automatically shut off depending on what tightness you have it on. So these are cool. The more budget option. It's an old kit. Also do have some extra spline nuts here because, you know, you never know. And then these are actually, I don't remember the name of the company that makes these, but these are going to be your emergency valve stems. So these are, say you're on the trail, you bust a valve stem, you hit a rock or something, this one will actually, you just shove this in there and then you're good to go, you're sealed up again. And here, this is the charger for the actual Makita Impact and chainsaw. So, you know, if you do have a power bank or something like that, a big battery system, or, you know, you're parked at a gas station or something, you need to charge your stuff, you can do that. And then here's just a skosh bag, because you can use this as like a little tiny dry bag or throw some hardware in there. And then this is going to be the main thing, the tool bag here, tool roll. Just like Chris, this one's off of Amazon. You don't need a special bag. There's some really nice bags out there, like from Step 22. They have some nice ones that keep it nice and organized. It's clear, see-through, but they're like 150 bucks. You don't need that. This is like 25, 40 bucks on Amazon, and it does the job. It does the exact same thing. So starting up top here is kind of your smaller stuff. I do have just some Ziploc bags because, you know, you can throw anything in there. And then I do have the big, like, industrial commercial, it's like a 3 mil thick garbage bag, so those are always nice to have. You can use that to like lay on some dirty ground or something, or as a trash bag. I also do have a bandana in there because, I don't know, maybe you're sweating, you need to wipe off your sweat, but be a man. Going into the top zipper here is kind of like your universal stuff. So I got flathead, Phillips. I do have a little magnet thing that's the telescopic, because dropping bolts fucking sucks. And I've dropped many bolts, and these things save your life. I also do keep this little plastic trim removal tool in here because, you know, you're always popping off clips. Got a little tape measure in here. And this has got your like Allen and Torx setups for any kind of size. Then got a smaller flathead in here, bigger size Phillips, and then this one's also going to be for your metric stuff. Got a couple zip ties in here, just you know, zip ties are used for everything. And then this one was specific for the FJ, because if you guys know the FJs, I'm sure other cars are similar, like the GX. To adjust the headlight on those ones, you got to get a big Phillips and do that hole and then adjust it that way. But this is where I have all my impact sockets. So obviously you got a big beefy ratchet in here. Nice to have hand tools and not rely on power stuff because batteries die. And then you got your extension here. And then this is also like the little sliders from Harbor Freight. All these impact sockets are from Harbor Freight. So these are all metric because we drive Japanese cars and they're all going to use that stuff. But really helpful to have these guys. So I have anything down from a 10 mil all the way up to a 27. And then I also do have some swivel sockets for these guys for the tight spaces, all the way down to like the 1/4 inch size and the, what's that, 3/8. And then also do have the kind of extended, the longer one for the 3/4. This one's going to be for, you know, pulling off your wheels. And then this one is going to be a 35 mil socket. So that's one. This one is going to be for your axle nuts, because axles suck and you want to be able to repair that. This one is kind of my miscellaneous pouch. So WD-40, got a little level in here. Also has a little like kind of punch on that. This comes in like TV sets, so if you're ever doing TVs, make sure to save that. What do you call this? Like the plumber's tape?
Teflon tape?
Yeah. Really good to have this if you have water tanks or anything like that, or for like your breathers or something. Definitely want to have that, keep it all sealed up. And then also do have a tiny bit of paracord in here. Then some Velcro, because Velcro can be used to hold stuff up like your radios or whatever. Just a little nice piece of kit to have. And then I do have like your clays here. So this is your steel stick and your quick steel. So if you have like a hole in your pan or something, you gotta patch it up. Do have those, and you know, I wrote the instructions on here, so you just kind of need that and it'll conform and work. In here, just a bunch of fuses. Got a little like scalpel X-Acto blade in here, replacement for this guy here. You can see I have Ranger bands kind of everywhere. Also do have a cheap little multi-tool in here. I do have a lot of nicer multi-tools, but you know, it's always good to have some pliers. Down to this one, this is where I have all my combo wrenches. So anything from standard, like this, and metric. And then I also do have a larger 19 mil, because 19 is used a lot on Toyota vehicles. So good to have that. And then you have your adjustable one as well. Then down to the last pocket, this is some more kind of universal stuff. So you got your big channel locks here. Use these a lot. Or these dikes, right? Big pliers, big boys. These are also good. And then your needle nose, like Chris said, you always have to have some needle noses, because use that for anything. And then just a smaller set of pliers. And then vice grips. You gotta have vice grips, because sometimes you don't have the right size thing. Like this is, I probably do have the right size thing, but it could get lost or something. Yeah, that's pretty much the tool setup. I've been building this kit for like the past 6 years, so I don't really recommend that you go out and buy all this stuff. Definitely, as you need it, you're gonna know what you need. But it's always good to have as many tools as possible, especially with the smaller form factor. If you can fit it, why not have it? Because you know, you could be at work, or you could be somewhere else where someone may need a different tool, different size, so good to have them. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that you don't need. There's some great videos out on YouTube about Toyota specific toolkits, so you know, you kind of base that off your own. But yeah, there's tons of other stuff that I keep in my car. This is only one of the boxes. I'd say a lot of people would say this is too much, but it works, you know? I'm prepared for anything, and if you're one of those people, I hope I run into you one day and you need something and I'm there to save you, because then you won't be talking. But that's me. It's my tool setup. That's what I carry in my rig all the time. It lives in that rig, and it should be that way. So if you got a rig, you're wheeling, you're doing any kind of stuff like that, make sure you know how to fix your stuff. A big thing is also keeping spare parts. So I do have like inner outer tie rod ends. Like Chris said, I think it's probably important to keep another CV, because CVs don't hold up too well, especially the type of wheeling, depending on what you do. But if you're like in the hardcore rock crawling scene, more tools the better. Some people keep those like arc welders with batteries and stuff, but I don't have that skill. But know how to use your tools. Definitely do your research on what you need, and you'll be set. So you don't have to be that dweeb on the trail that's trying to flag people down, because that's the plebs. Those are the people that say they go overlanding. Don't be that guy. All right, that's me.